So let's get to our first speaker. She is an artist who lives and works here in Washington, D.C., a member of the Artists Collective at the District of Columbia Arts Center. Please welcome Sarah Jamison.
Here. And I've got a slideshow, some visual aid, which I'll be clicking through. But my name is Sarah Jamison, and I'm a Washington, D.C. artist working with traditional fine arts media, specifically colored pencil, gouache, and marker, creating drawings that explore the omnipresence of digital media and its impact on our culture. My artwork is inspired by the internet's ever-evolving nuance, language, and niches, and it investigates viral ideas and imagery, issues of data collection and privacy, and the unique vernacular and colloquialisms of the online world. The internet, particularly social media, has changed the way that we interact with aesthetics. Everyone can relate to wanting to share the perfect pictures of your vacation or your table full of bottomless brunch food. This is visual thinking, and prior to social media, it wasn't something that we necessarily practiced as part of our everyday lives. I believe this is one of the positives of social media, that it has created a deeper appreciation and understanding of beauty, aesthetics, and craft. As much as this has changed things for individuals, the era of digital media on handheld devices has radically evolved how artists and art institutions navigate their professional lives. Digital media has made the art world much, much smaller. It has opened more direct lines of communication between museums, art spaces, curators, artists, and those who appreciate and collect art. Increasingly, I have noticed brick-and-mortar gallery spaces evolving solely into online platforms, offering digital exhibitions or social media features. Social media is the greatest free marketing tool in your toolbox. And most artists that I know live and die by Instagram. The power of promoting your art on a primarily image-based platform cannot be overstated. For myself, technology has completely influenced my process and practice. Not only is it my subject matter being directly lifted from the digital world, I literally plan and compose my pieces in Photoshop and execute each drawing by using my phone to look at, zoom in from, and work from as my digital reference. On the slideshow, you can see several images from my initial body of work, Ubiquitous, which currently has 54 drawings rendered at the exact size of an iPhone screen. I began this series in 2016, inspired by how much time we spend on our phones. Smartphones are arguably the primary vehicle by which we receive our news and entertainment, and these things are often intertwined. I wanted to explore what makes an image or meme so resonant that it goes viral, how these images operate as cultural symbols, and if there was a consequence to receiving our political news on the same platform feed that hosts Justin Bieber's mugshot and what your aunt made for dinner last night. In the time to follow, that became a more relevant question than I could have ever anticipated. I've recently started a new body of work addressing issues of data collection, the opaque nature of how our stored data is applied, smart technology, the so-called Internet of Things, free speech, and censorship. Facebook has had a hard time staying out of the news for several of these reasons, which inspired my drawing, also included in the slideshow. For this inaugural piece in my series, I rendered a 2-foot square portrait of Mark Zuckerberg using pixels as an ode to the beginning of how digital imagery was represented, but also as a means of illustrating the lack of transparency employed by his platform. Written over and partially obscured by the portrait is the actual language used by Facebook, generally outlining their updated privacy policy following the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The friendly language belies the conventional wisdom that if you aren't paying for the product, you are the product. So why create art about these digital topics? I believe that it is the responsibility of artists to respond to the society and events of their times. The reality of our world is that it is online. Culture has evolved. It is not just in museums or in communities. It is on the internet, on 4chan, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, and a myriad of others. It is permanent, hackable, and able to be manipulated, and it is to our own detriment that we don't take it seriously. In my opinion, there's nothing frivolous about memes or these interest-based communities. At best, they condense cultural opinion into a concise image or discussion thread. At worst, they're capable of supporting and facilitating violent ideas or have a negative effect on our culture's dynamics. The thorniest question before us that underlies these issues is who, if anyone, should be the arbiter of taste and speech online? This discussion couldn't be any more enormous or complicated, but today and into the future, I believe art is an invaluable way to translate, explore, and discuss this question and these concepts in a tangible way. When I reflect on social media and digital culture, I see limitless opportunity and creative capacity. For myself, when digital media evolves, so too does my artwork. And the internet is the definition of organized chaos. I couldn't possibly predict where it might go in 10 or even 20 years, any better than my elementary school computer and keyboarding teacher could have predicted the adorable animals being bros subreddit. The idealist in me wishes for an open, egalitarian internet, and the realist in me sees a potential for surveillance and censorship. I'm hoping for the best and expecting the worst, bearing in mind that some of our society's most beautiful triumphs come from our greatest trials, and art will be there to dissect it either way. Thank you all so much.